I look good though. I look good.
You can't even sit in peace, 'cause all of these niggas be on you.
Hey guys, I hope everyone is okay. I'm gonna do a chit chat get ready with me today. It's been a very long time since we've had like a sit down video. There's been lots of vlogs, lots of like hair reviews, but yeah, I don't think like I've had any space on any of my platforms where like I've sat down and, you know, taken some of your questions and caught you up with like things that have been going on in life. This is like the first, I guess, like non-vlog video that's taking place in this new place. If you don't know, 6 months ago I moved into like a nice new flat, so we don't have the old background anymore. I'm even still trying to figure out what the background would be, but like this is my TikTok setup, so it's good enough for YouTube, definitely. So I asked you guys some questions on Instagram, and like, yeah, we're just gonna go through the questions whilst like putting my face on. I think today I just want to do something like really simple. The way my makeup has been recently, it's very different to what it would normally be. Like I'm normally a full glam babe, you know, but I've been very much giving skin these days, and I'm absolutely not mad at it because this is my skin dry. Yeah, so when she is hydrated and looks good, why would I want to hide that? Why would I want to hide that? There's no reason why I should hide that. Got my water, my lemon water, and let's get through some of these questions, shall we? Hopefully this should be like a good video. So first I'm gonna prime my face. Yes, I'm gonna skin prep my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. If you're not like skin prepping in general, you need to question what your steps are and how they serve you. Skin prep is very important. You see how I told you my face was dry before? Let this cream do its magic. I might have used a little bit too much. It's given instant revitalization. First question. I'm turning 20 next month and I don't know what I'm doing. I hate uni and I feel like I'm failing, just coasting. I'm gonna start off by saying, girl, you are literally 20, and I don't mean that like in a patronizing way whatsoever at all, because after all, I am 26 and that's still young in a lot of people's eyes. This feeling like sometimes you have to have things in place or things together because you've reached like a final stage in uni is like a myth. So much happens post-uni that uni actually becomes irrelevant, and actually what takes place in uni has no bearing on like how your life is going to turn out. And I know it feels like ultra stressful because I know you've probably got exams going on, you've got coursework that you need to hand in, and like all of these different things, but this is just for this season here. I know you said you hate uni as well. Is it because of your course? Is it because of like your lack of friends? Sometimes pinpointing why you hate something helps you tackle like your feelings around it. So for example, if you hate uni because of the people that you hang out with, maybe like find new friends. I'm not trying to like trivialize it at all, because I know how hard it can be actually to find new friends at uni. But yeah, finding new friends could help if it's your course that you hate. I can't really advise much about that other than like stick through it. You're literally at the end, especially if you're in final year like you said. But also like this could be a good time to find something that you're passionate about, something that brings you joy during this time. I wish I could go back to uni and focus a lot more on the things I liked and cared about, which was of course like content creation. I felt so wrapped up in my own bubble as a university student that I felt like uni was my be all and end all, and if I didn't navigate that properly, like my life would be ruined, which is obviously not the truth. There are so many people I know that failed uni and like they're fine. I promise you, they're okay. Like there's nothing wrong with their lives. They're literally having a great time. Some of them are even having a better time than me. So sometimes like you have to take a step out from what you're doing and what you're feeling to really get yourself to calm down a little bit, especially if you're feeling ultra anxious. Like if you've got friends around you, you can take this time to like speak to them and like let them know that you're struggling. if you feel like it's uni that you're failing with as well, go and speak to your lecturers. They have office hours for a reason, and you should absolutely be abusing those office hours. If there is like a module that you're waiting on that you don't feel so confident with, or there's like an exam module that you're like, oh, I'm not feeling the best with this, go and bother them. Go and bother them in their office hours. They will not turn you away. They will not. And if they try to, keep bothering them, because it's their job. Okay? And I hope like you end up feeling better and uni goes the way you want it to go. And I hope you stop feeling like you're failing, because you've literally got the rest of your life ahead of you. 20 in the grand pond of life is a drop. Okay? Oh, and I forgot to say this too, like, no one knows what they're doing, babe. I promise you. Even me. 27, 26. I thought when I was 22, by the time I get to 26, married, kids, car, house. I'm gonna know exactly what I'm doing. I'm even, in my mind, I should be head teacher right now, according to my plans. But you're not supposed to know, because no, life really is an open journey. So just be open to what it could offer you, okay? I'm glad my life didn't go the way I planned, because I'm having a much better time now than what I had initially planned for myself, which was BS. What are your favorite things about being a content creator / influencer? There are many things that I really enjoy. There are many things I enjoy. I enjoy, of course, like interacting with you guys. I wouldn't be doing this, cliche, if it wasn't for you guys. So like, when you guys come up to me in the street, and like I get to like find out more about you guys, and like I get to put faces to names, and that's been like really, really nice. But also reminds me like I'm not just talking to nobody, that like you guys are actually like real people with real feelings and real opinions. So like that's always been a fun bit. But also like working with some brands that I've grown up with, I feel very, 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 I feel like I spoke about, did I? Probably not, because my life has changed a lot since last year. But when I talk to people around me, in fact, I speak about like how happy and lucky and blessed I feel to be able to leave my old like way of being, and being able to say, this is what I want to pursue, and it's actually working out. Vulnerability hour. I'm someone that unfortunately had like a low expectations of things that I could do. So like, yeah, I believe I've got the ability, but like I'm not sure like it's gonna pop off, or like I'm not sure it's gonna go like very far, or like I would just downplay a lot, which is of course like not a healthy like mechanism. And thank God for therapy, because it means like those kind of behavior patterns you could work through and work against, and that's just not where you want to be as a person. When you look at your skills and craft, you don't want to approach it with that mindset. So I feel parts of that person that existed is now looking at this person that exists and this life that she gets to have, and that person is like shocked, like, wow, it really works out for you. But you know what, yeah, I must have had faith in myself to leave my full-time job that paid decently, that had like a level of security for me, and like left that to do this. I must rate myself. So yeah, like that's my favorite part, seeing things work out, knowing that, you know, I've been on YouTube since 2015. Yes, this influencer journey on Instagram and TikTok is relatively new, but my source is sourcing, because things are working out, and I praise God for that. Let's go for like a semi-natural beat today. I'm gonna actually use the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Radiance foundation. This foundation is too good. I don't think they sell it in the UK though, that's the only part. But like, this is good, I'm not gonna lie. I did an ad with them on Instagram, and yeah, it's fantastic. Look at my skin, it's cute. My skin looks good. For that, I enjoy like working with brands that I've grown up with. I've been able to work with like Boots and Vaseline, and like do all of these things with, like I said, these brands that I've just grown up with. That's been like, whoa, full circle moment. I enjoy being able to put together content as well. I'm a creative person, so being able to produce, direct, and edit my own content, like it's literally 3 in 1. But I feel very, very proud of myself whenever I make content and put it out. So like, those have been the best bits, to be honest. Yeah. and seeing the support from my family, that's also been another good. Is this my, I don't think this is actually my shade, and I can't remember if this is my shade or not. Anyway, we're here now, so like let's rock steady. Let's rock steady. Yes, I think this is my shade. You just don't need too much, girl. Would you consider moving to a new country? Of course. There's something in the air in this UK here that makes you think like, this can't be my life for the rest of my life. My boyfriend flew me out to LA for Valentine's Day, and I'm not gonna lie, it had me thinking like my life actually can't be just here in the UK. Like there are things to see, there are people to meet, there are things to do. So like, why am I restraining myself to just the UK? Even if it means like I travel a lot but don't actually move. It's something definitely I would love to think about. Even when I have kids, yeah, I'll take my baby with me. My baby can go wherever mom and dad go. They don't have to stay confined to this UK place, you know? Should be my mom and dad. Them man moved. They moved from Nigeria to come here. If they can do it, best believe I can do it too. If I was probably still a teacher, I would probably be teaching in Dubai right now, if I'm being really honest with you, because like, tax free, weather's fantastic, like they pay for your accommodation, it's a good life to live in the time being. Like, who wouldn't want to go and stack and live a good life out there? I would. This foundation's really good. I just remembered why I like it so much. I just haven't touched it in a while. How do you feel about your online presence and career at the moment? I feel like I'm in a good space. I feel like over the course of the years, whilst I've been doing this, I feel like I've built a very good relationship with you guys. A lot of you guys feel comfortable enough to DM me. I'm gonna use the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Concealer. Chef's kiss, there's none like this. I'm gonna use the shade MD27 and MD22 to give myself a little bit of brightness, but I need to try the foundation. If the concealer is like this, I need the foundation. I do. And I feel like we've got a good relationship, and you guys understand not to cross certain boundaries, and you guys like respect that, and I'm thankful that you guys understand that and respect that, which makes it a little bit more easier to be vulnerable online. But that's on IG and YouTube. I think on TikTok it's a whole nother ball game, only because of the way like things function on there. You can end up on a For You page and it can end up not for your audience, and then you've got a whole bunch of crazy people in your comments doing the most, just crossing all sorts of boundaries. If there's one thing I've learned to be big on, it is boundaries, and do not cross them with someone you who hasn't given you the authority to even attempt to toe the line. Don't do that. So like, that's made me a little bit more guarded online. And I was watching a video the other day where someone was talking about, in this day and age, it's really important that people be vulnerable online because it's helpful for the masses. My first thought straight away was, why would anyone choose to be vulnerable online when people act like banshees, when people act like mad people? Elia's face is living her good life, her life of privacy, and someone brings up a photo of her man. That's crazy to me. Not only are people choosing to overstep boundaries and go across the line, people are choosing to be disrespectful about it too. One thing about me, yeah, I whoops ass. And when I find that IP address, yeah. Don't do that to people. Don't do that to people. Like, she didn't deserve that. And a lot of the things that happen to creators, like, they don't deserve it. I think my view of my online presence continually is changing, and my relationship with the online space is continually evolving because it's new audiences, you know? The audience I have on TikTok is a whole lot younger than the audience I have on Instagram, for example. So like, there are just things that this audience they're not understanding straight away. They're not. Sometimes the reaction to some things are quite juvenile, and I could tell straight away, like, y'all some babies, don't be babies, let's be grown. fantastic concealer. If you're looking for like skin like finish, this concealer is going to give you a skin like finish, honey. Yeah, but as for like my career, I feel very, like I said in the other question, I feel very blessed, and I'm very like glad. I'm very much like leaving everything in God's hands. I'm learning a lot on this journey, that a lot of it is faith. Faith. I'm relying on God taking me from step to step. Of course, like, you do the work and like you wake up every day and you do your part, but relying on the grace of God, relying on God's favor to get me in certain rooms. And I've had those moments where it's like, how did I end up here? And it's definitely not by my work, by my own merit. I know God is watching on me from above, and that makes me feel, it reminds me like, yeah, I've got a very good Heavenly Father. So my career every day is like a walking testament of my faith, and a daily reminder that God has good plans for me, and that's a beautiful place I choose to be in. I choose to dwell in that place. I choose to dwell in that place. I'm saying that multiple times because sometimes it's hard. What I was saying before is a beautiful segue into talking about how 2023 has been going for me. 2023 has been, it's been interesting. It's been good, but it's been testing. It's been testing. I just told Instagram this week that like my house flooded, my flat flooded. So that was like amazing. But I mean, it's been testing as in my faith has been tested. And like, it can be difficult when you're choosing to repair your relationship with self, choosing to repair your idea that, you know, your thing isn't rated, and really choosing to believe in yourself on a higher level. And that can make some moments feel very difficult. I feel like I'm speaking cryptically. What I'm trying to say essentially is, sometimes when you don't have high trust in self, you've got high self-esteem, but you don't have high trust in self, it makes it very difficult to make important decisions for yourself. And when you try and make those decisions, you're so paralyzed in fear and anxiety that the steps you should be making and taking, you just don't. This is a fantastic. Yeah. So I think I've been moving through all of those moments so far in 2023. I've gone back to therapy again at the beginning of this year, and that's been also really, really interesting. Simply because I'm finding myself like revisit old things and old feelings I thought I had shared. And my therapist said something to me that made me say, I don't know about this anymore. She said to me that, darling girl, those wounds that we have been working on are wounds that you're probably going to have to continue to tend and be gentle with for the rest of your life. And that's okay. What you are choosing and learning to do in therapy is manage the feelings around those wounds so that they no longer sting as bad. Almost like a scar you get from falling over. That scar remains with you, but you no longer feel it when you have to get onto the bed or put on a new pair of trousers. Like, you never feel it as much. So I thought, you know what? You're right. So a highlight for 2023 definitely for me has been therapy. It's been like my walk with God. It feels so authentic. I'm in such an authentic place with my walk with God at the moment that I wouldn't change it for the world. I think looking back over the years, my relationship with God has been characterized by lots of different things. And this year is characterized by authenticity. My relationship with God is given authentic. Why did you leave teaching? I feel like every time I put up a question box, or like at least 1 in 5 videos I do, someone leaves this comment about teaching. Even though I've just praised you guys for like respecting boundaries, but maybe some people just don't see the PSAs. But I choose not to talk about teaching anymore. I just don't. Like, that's my old life. It's something I did. It's something I experienced, and like, I'm moving on. The reason why I left teaching is because I wanted to pursue this. Like, I just didn't want to do that job anymore, you know? I just didn't want to do it. And human will means we don't have to train ourselves to things that we don't want to do. So because I don't choose to do that anymore, I no longer teach. Godspeed to all the teachers. I respect all the teachers and what they do. I'm behind them in every single one of their strikes because they deserve a pay rise. They be working hard, honey. And that's that. Okay, setting the under eye. I'm gonna use a lot today. I never use a lot, but I saw someone using a lot. And I was like, oh, that's probably why their under eye looks so nice. That's not my colour, that would have been tragic. I don't do this. I don't set my powder like this. So whatever happens, we're gonna take it as it is. That actually kind of looks good. That actually kind of looks good. I'm not gonna lie. Dynamics of adult friendships changing. I actually was about to do a video on this on TikTok, but we could discuss it here. I feel like a lot changes in your adult friendships because people's priorities start changing. I didn't bronze. Dynamics of your adult friendships will change because people's priorities are continually changing. People start having kids, people start getting married, people start prioritizing their careers, people are going through things. So I think there needs to be like a different level of grace applied to your adult friendships that maybe didn't exist when you were teenagers, you know. And it's definitely not one size fits all for all advice when it comes to your relationships in adulthood. Like, the communication becomes all the more important, and the reading in between the lines and the assumptions really just don't cut it if you want an honest and open relationship. Assumption is what's really going to mess up your friendship as an adult. Yeah, but overall, like, you make time when you can. Being intentional is still a very real concept, but also alignment is also just as real a concept as anything else. Like, you may fall away from friends, not because like they're bad people or something has happened. Like, maybe you guys have just changed. And that's okay. So yeah, I had to learn that, and I'm still learning that as well, you know. Love can still exist without proximity. Sorry, I keep sniffing because hay fever is doing me bad. I'm gonna finish up my makeup because I think we've got like 2 questions left. So I'll be back when my makeup's done. I literally took 1 lash and then just cut it into 2 to make corner lashes. Because sometimes that's all you really want. You don't really want to do too much. You just want a cheeky corner lash. That's me right now. Last question and then we are out of here, babies. Social media boundaries and responses. This is a good question because, like I said, sometimes like your content ends up in the wrong place, and the people that are responding to the content are not the people you initially like hoped would receive it. So like, I made a video a month ago or so talking about like my long-standing relationship with my partner, and you guys on YouTube know that we've been together a very long time because you're like the audience. You've been here a very long time, so it's like not a shock. But I wasn't even talking about that. I was here to talk about like what helps a relationship to grow, because I feel like I should know, you know. Being in a relationship with someone for almost 9 years, I would hope I know. And guys, that video ended up with the wrong audience. That video ended up with the patriarchy princesses, and they had a lot to say about me needing to stand up and collecting a ring from a man, and if the man does not marry me within X amount of days, that man does not love you, which I think is of course like stupid, foolish. Like, you can't force anyone to marry you. If that person is going to marry you, they're going to do it, but also they're going to do it in their own time. Granted, there's nothing wrong with saying to someone like, this is my vision for when I think, you know, this shouldn't be happening, and I would hope that you and your partner are aligned on the same page. But old kicker would have cussed each and every single one of them like individually, but sometimes like you have to kill them in a different way. Like, I have to realize that a lot of these people are looking at this content from the lens of 2 things: the patriarchy princesses who believe like their value is tied to marriage, and the people who think they are sitting in their feminist bag and it is their feminine right, in fact, to ask for the ring up to make sure that they are not being taken as a mug. And like, those kind of things that of course like they exist in the grand scheme of my relationship because we all operate on politics, but my relationship first operates on love and respect, mutual respect. So my course of action often for people is I either block and delete the comment because I don't even know you like that, so I'm gonna choose to not be bothered by that. Or you might catch me on a lucky day and actually I actually might respond. And there's also nothing wrong with that. But I think people think like content creators and influencers, yeah, they're not gonna respond. No, baby, they are. They are. And they're gonna cuss you within an inch of your life. And they're entitled to do so because you thought that you could come here and do what you want. And that's just not how that works. Anybody sign no social contract about that? What do you mean? Like, as long as people maintain boundaries and don't overstep the mark, and I feel like that is internal work for the viewer to do. I can't force anyone to do that. So if you step out of line, I have to remind you to get back in line. And that's my philosophy. That's my philosophy. I think it's important still for me to share things with you guys, but like I said earlier as well, it's difficult for people to share things when people move mad and they behave lawless and they behave as if their parents do not exist. They behave as if the moral compass does not exist. And I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be spending my hard-earned money with my therapist discussing the comments that you have now triggered me with. I don't have time for that. I don't. So you move out of line, I'm going to step out of line to remind you to get back in line. So next time you will never see outside of that line. Anyway, my makeup looks good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I should have a vlog coming soon. It's going to be a very random vlog. YouTube, I'm here, but it's like, it's not my home like that anymore. If you want to find me and you want to see more of me, find me on TikTok or IG. Okay, so I'll see you guys for another video, hopefully sooner rather than later. That's gonna be my new catchphrase. Yeah. Bye.